Hello, people. This is my first stream that I'm going to be doing, and by stream I mean making a video and putting it on YouTube. So welcome to Mini Mark MTG. That's YouTube thing. And I'm going to be playing in a Pauper event today, and I'm going to be using a Stompy deck. For those of you who don't know what Pauper is or how phones ring, Pauper is where you can only play commons. So if it was ever printed as a common, guess what? You get to use it. It's kind of bonkers because it's kind of like Legacy except cheap. Um, Mostly because there's some broken stuff going on. Now, for those of you who are familiar with Pauper, this is pre the Temporal Fissure Cloud Post ban, so the meta is going to be a little bit weird today. And hopefully I can do good things in it, but the last couple events I played in haven't gone that well. So, the event I'm playing today is a pretty standard Pauper deck. The goal of this Pauper deck is you want to put down like 2/2s for one, or another 2/2 for one. Just big dudes who do stuff that is kind of crazy. And with those creatures, you're just gonna try to beat the guy's face in so hard that he dies quickly. It's not the most aggressive of decks, but it is a fairly aggressive deck because you have things like Groundswell, where you can, just play a land casually on turn 2, and then suddenly you're hitting for 6 damage. You have mutagenic growths in there, so you can be like, oh, I'm all tapped out, whatever is going to happen, and then they attack into your, 2/2 with their 3/3, thinking, ha 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 ha, and then you're like, I'll just take 2 damage and kill your guy. Okay, cool. What's next? It's just a lot of combat tricks and trying to manipulate the board such that you can just beat someone down. Um, and some cards are just kind of silly, like Skurzeg's Scaregon Pit Skulk. Sorry, did not play in original Ravnica format. I'm kind of new, so not. I've been playing since Rise, so that's relatively new. But anyways, what this guy can do is you hit with your Netted Sentinel on turn 1, you play him as a 2/2, then you put a Rancor on him, and all of a sudden he's basically unblockable in this format because unless somebody plays an Ulamog's Crusher, which you just wait a turn for, and then you attack, because he has to attack at your table, you basically can just run him in there every single time, and unless they can remove him, it's just a clock. And you can also do some pretty cool, interesting little combos, like Quirion Ranger lets you bounce a land to your hand to untap a creature. Well, let's say you have a Nettle Sentinel out, and then you play this, you attack with this, and then you want to play this. Well, you untap him, and then you play your Garruk's Companion, because if this is like turn 3 and you only have 2 land in your opening hand, well, guess what? You have 3 mana now. Look at that, because you can return it and then replay it, and it's awesome. This guy also works pretty well with things like Groundswell, because you can be like, oh, I'm going to return this card to my hand, and then I'm going to replay it, and it's a land. So I hit landfall. Oh my god, now I can give +4/+4 until end of turn to my creature that's attacking you. Good luck with that blocking thing. Also a couple Hunger of the Howl packs, just for kind of like, getting there. Just, making a big dude and saying deal with it. River Boas and Safehold Elites are there because they're good against like the control-y type decks, because you can keep them alive by just, flickering them and stuff. Young Wolf also falls into that category. Riverbow is also very good against blue decks because blue is broken in this format. I used to play decks that had red in it. Then I realized that blue was basically red's enemy back in the olden days, and because of that, just stupid stuff. And then we have other pump cells like Vines. I'm kind of scatterbrained. I just woke up. Sorry about that. But Vines is also really good against control-y type decks and decks that want to interact with you because you can just say no. And it's also pretty good against some decks that are like, hey, I'm going to pump my guy because I'm pretty cool at that. And you can be like, no, you can't target that because I said so. And they'll be like, oh, so my spell fizzles? And I'll be like, yep, deal with it. So it's kind of cool. And then there's just a Bone Splitter in there because it's really efficient. I mean, you pay a mana, and then you can just be like, pay a mana, give something big. Yeah. And then I have a sideboard as well. The sideboard is not that good. Oh, look, my match just started. I'll get there in a second. I have Thermokarsts for, like destroying lands because of Cloudpost still being in the deck. Hornet Stings deal with some pretty hairy situations. The Fogs are for, like, the aggressive deck, so if he just starts stacking things to his Atog, you can just Fog him and, like, 10 for 1 him on that, unless he has a Fling, in which case, you're dead anyways. Scattershot Archer is for fairy decks. Gleeful Sabotage is also for, like, is for decks that are all enchantment based or all artifact based, so that's cool. And then River Boa, just because I needed another card and I didn't know what to do. And then Shinin also did not play back in Kamigawa block, sorry. Of Life's Roar, and he's all like, roar, everyone has to block me, so you can deal with some pretty annoying utility creatures with that. But yeah, so that's the deck, and I will be jumping in the first match immediately. Thank you.